This episode is brought to you by Leo Bato and Associates, ang realtor na patok.
When buying or selling your home, call Leo Bato. He has years of experience in real estate, showing honesty and integrity in every transaction. He's a person you can definitely trust. So book your appointment with Leo Bato today by giving him a call at 818-648-4837 or by visiting him on the web at www.leobato.realtor.
This episode is brought to you by Binalot Los Angeles.
And the podcast will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 108. My good friend, my partner in crime, Mr. Michael Abad.
Yay! We should work on our handshakes.
Parang Ned at saka
Right. Hello world. It's good to be in front of the lights again.
Yung ba sinasabi mo pagkausap mo yung mga guests bago
Yes.
sila magpunta. You say, hello world.
Yes, hello world. Yes. You got to think broad, right? Think global. Think universal. Yeah. What's up?
108.
Can you believe that? 108. So, and then we're now
Ano ba first episode mo? Was it 8?
No, I think it was, if memory serves right, episode 9.
Dang.
Yeah, lucky number 9.
The accidental episode, no?
Yes, I remember. I was here to see Glenn.
And
then I was fashionably late, surprisingly. And then di ko na naabutan yung kanyang episode. And then chika-chika lang ng konti during wrap-up. And then we just decided, no? Oh, ikaw naman, sampa ka na. Oh, okay. Let's see how it goes. No?
Tapos tuloy-tuloy na, di ba?
Oh, and,
108.
108.
Which means, yung unang 8, hindi ikaw responsible doon. Pero after your episode, dire-diretso ng pataas.
True. Started being more involved with the program.
Not only that, you have 109, we have 110. Guys, after this episode, may mga nakapila pang episode courtesy of this man.
Right. In the pipeline. I'm pretty excited for all of them. Especially yung the one that we just booked last night. I was like, oh my gosh, sana mangyari yan.
Well, anong ba't ka gumagano? Is that the motion of love?
Don't get jealous.
So anyway, ang tanong ko, did you know that you would come into this role and be good at this role? That you're actually quadrant tayo sa Paco's Place. You are para tayong Beatles tayo ni na Jaja, di ba? Lahat
True.
tayo.
Okay.
We're a band of 4 and we all play our parts. And yeah, I'm the guy in front speaking to the guests.
You're the face.
I'm the face.
Literally, figuratively.
But then again, without JJ, without you, and you're the person bringing in the guests. In other words, ano tayo yung play natin from first contact to actual to follow through.
Right.
How do you do it? How did you do it? Did you ever think that you were going to be able to pull it off? Inisip mo ba na, I'll try it? But looking back in hindsight, ang dami mo nang
Here we are, di ba? Parang 108 episodes later.
di ba natin binibilang yung Paco's Place exclusive? Ha?
Right. Which will be launched soon, hopefully.
Yes.
Diba?
Yeah.
And then yung Paco's Place clips. And then yung mga performances.
Hindi. Yung clips, yun din yung mga guests. Pero yung sa exclusive,
sabagay.
ibang guests
yun. Yes,
yeah.
Right.
So you've practically brought in more than 120.
Yeah, now that you mention that, yeah, wow, it's pretty amazing at the same time. I didn't really expect my role to be this fun and this exciting.
Is it fun?
It's fun. Making that first connection with the guest and then saying, "Hey, would love to have you on the show," and then sending them links of prior episodes, and then getting the responses like, this is so cool, I'm in when we do it.
nung wala pa tayong episodes.
Nung wala pa, it was like, itong ini-envision natin dyan,
Okay.
diba? Blah, 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 diba? And then, do you want to do it? Are you in? So, I can understand the earlier guests. They took a risk also. Diba?
And that's humbling.
Oo. Yeah.
Not to say na hindi humbling lahat ng guests.
No. But you're right. The first few
Adapters,
guests where wala pa tayong what do you call this? Wala pa tayong reputation, right? Or evidence.
Wala pa, no? Tapos wala pa tayong process.
Wala pa.
Kailan lalabas yung episode ko?
Oh yeah, eventually, yeah. Lalabas siya. But now meron na, di ba?
Oh, yeah.
And then as the episodes progress, as the seasons progress, we become a little bit smarter with the gear, with the process, with how to handle guest inquiries, diba? And then how to be flexible with their schedule also.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of coordination and
What goes,
oftentimes
yun,
rescheduling.
Yun nga, I want to know what goes on behind the scene. Kasi when you are very gracious to present it to the team, nakaplansya na.
Right.
So, si JJ, ako, si Jaja, clueless kami what goes on.
Oh, okay.
All I do is I just hold your beer and that's it, di ba? Tapos
Right. And then,
titignan namin yung schedule natin kasi meron po kaming shared schedule.
right.
Titignan ko na lang yung parang, Uy!
Well, first is I make sure that there's a right balance in terms of spreading the dates out, so that way you're not also burned out because
So, you're having to deal with my schedule,
your schedule,
with your wife's schedule,
Introvoice's schedule,
Voice's schedule, your schedule, Jaja's schedule, JJ's schedule,
my band schedule,
your band's schedule.
right.
So juggling
Juggling all of
six
that.
entities. And the guest's schedule.
And the guest schedule. Yeah. So
Game. I dissect natin lahat.
So with all those variables, you have to figure out what will work for everybody. And we've found out that the ideal I guess ratio of episodes per week would be like 2. We record 2 episodes a week.
Yeah.
And then we
Hindi naman nasusunod yun.
hindi rin nasusunod, di ba? And then we try to do Tuesday, Thursdays, hindi rin nasusunod. Because again, we got to be flexible also with the availability of the
Pag
guest.
may humirit na, I want to do a
Yeah.
podcast. Okay.
Pag may humirit na, happy to do a virtual episode, and then if ever you're in town, I'm in town eh. Sige. Yeah, what dates work for you? I'm free all of Feb. Diba? So you need to have that flexibility, and then at the same time, be mindful also that we don't spread ourselves too thin, because it's gonna show with the output.
Right.
And now that we are 100 plus episodes in, diba? And we've built a good reputation with the community, I feel we now have an obligation naman to
Let's talk
take care
about
of
that.
guests.
Yeah, let's talk about that obligation. Dahil dati, I remember you talking to me about that and we share the same passion. But you were very hands-on in making sure na this show is a community endeavor na ino-offer natin sa kanila. And talagang drinil mo sa aming lahat yun na this is what ganyan.
Right.
And we've stayed true to that. So ang tanong ko is, how are you with regard to that? I mean, do you think now na nasasapul ba natin or?
I think so. Based on the feedback that we get from not only from the people, not only from the guests that participate, but also the audience that watch, and the yung audience natin aren't just based in LA. They're global.
Yeah.
And it's heartwarming to get feedback from them, saying that they're watching all the way from what part of the world, and they enjoy the episodes. They have fun learning about our guests. Some of them are prominent. Some of them are people that we have met in the local music scene.
Yeah.
Some of them are people we've met in the community, and we've realized, a common denominator with all of them is that they have stories to share based
Yeah.
on the journeys that they take in life. Not every journey is the same. They all experienced obstacles or periods of self-doubt,
That's true.
and then they all, one way or another, made the decision, right, to pursue what they want to do, and with that they took a risk and invested in themselves, and gambled on the fact that this is what I want to do. Eventually, I will be successful, and it's good to see those common themes.
Right. When you bring them in, you don't do you say that, or what? How do you invite them to be on the podcast?
I tell them that the the mission of the podcast is to inform and inspire. I'd like to add a third word, act, right? Because if you
Galing,
are
no?
informed and you're inspired, hopefully with those two elements, it will convince you to act.
To get off the fence.
Yes, to stop waiting, stop wishing, and then start doing.
Yeah.
So and that was what it was a one of the common themes that we've discovered from, I guess, all of the guests that
Galing, no?
that have been here so far. No? They,
Ano sila? Action oriented.
right. Or results came from actions
Yes, that they took.
That they took. Particularly in certain crossroads in their lives where either make or break, diba? And they had to choose wisely. And instead of not choosing, being like what you said, on the fence, they decided, this is what I want to do, took the plunge, and then,
Now,
never looked back.
yung part na yon, tayo, ikaw na nga nagsabi, to encourage, to inspire, and the third word is to hopefully inspire them to act, or to
Right.
inform them how to act upon what they want to achieve.
Right.
So lumalabas tayo parang mentor or whatever. Hindi tayo, yung guests natin parang
Right.
yun ang
Right.
ginagawa,
Or
diba?
like coaches, right?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
this is what I experienced.
Yes.
This is what I went through, and this is what you can learn.
And
from
testimony, yung testimony ng guest natin, yun ang napapanood nila and all that.
Right.
Mike, ang sa akin is, growing up, nakita mo ba yun sa daddy mo?
Yeah. One of the things that I learned from my dad was that you think you look at your options, make the best decision based on the options available, and then act. What I admire about him was that he was although he was a man of few words.
Was he?
He was.
Yeah.
He was.
Well, he was jolly.
Soft spoken.
Guys, kaya was Mike's dad passed away during actually, was it before COVID or during? No.
It was I think mga 2020.
2020,
April of
yeah.
2020.
Oh, yeah.
Just as we were starting
COVID.
the podcast, and
Yeah.
just as COVID was starting to hit the world.
And guys, ang birthday po ng daddy ni Mike is January 8. Kaya
And
episode 108.
That's why we chose this episode. So thank you also for this opportunity. Really,
Yes.
really humbled. Really
Parang
humbled. Really
lito-lito.
grateful.
So okay, so your dad, man of few words, pero yung vibe niya, because I remember I talked to him on the phone before when
Yeah.
nung nag-wish ka, di ba?
Right. We're on the wish bus.
And very upbeat ang personality niya.
Right.
Was he strict?
He was strict, but at the same time, kind, and I guess kind, malambing, or he'd set expectations, and he would expect that you meet them, diba? But at the same time, he was also a grounded guy. What I've also appreciated from him and what I've learned from him also was, even though he was he preferred to be behind the scenes, which is kind of my
Like you.
personality.
Mhm.
I probably took that from him. But he had this ability of bringing people together.
Together.
Uh-huh.
Like what you do.
And for some reason, I seem to have that gift. When you
Did you know that you took it from him or
no
Oh.
no, it was only fairly recently when after some reflection that I realized, oh nga, no. So when you offered me the role of being the artist relations
Manager,
for Paco's place, I knew nothing about,
Yep.
right? It's like, what do I do?
Actually,
Right.
good ka parang, ano ako ulit?
Yeah. It started, folks. It started with all right, let me look at my list of friends. I can refer you to some of my friends that I know in the scene, in the business world, right, in the community, and then I'll introduce you to them. You make the pitch and then bow out na ako. But then slowly but surely biglang ako na yung nagbibigay ng pitch, di ba? Lakas loob to email
Yes.
certain people
Sina
of
Spanky
stature.
Rigon,
Right,
VSD and
right.
Company.
Right.
Di ba?
Right. And then biglang they say yes, and then I listen to your pitches and then I figure out my way of spinning the pitch and
To make it
offering
your
the pitch,
own.
make it my own.
Uh-huh.
And then for some reason they
Yeah.
say yes.
Yes.
Diba? And then word spreads na lang na
Yes.
hey, these guys
Yes.
have a podcast. If you get an invite, I recommend that you swing by and check it out and participate.
And your dad was able to watch your episode. Nakapanood
was.
pa ng
Oh yeah, he was.
ng Paco's
He was
Place,
yung sa I think the one with episode 9, yes. Yung sa New Day in August, hindi niya naabutan, unfortunately. But he was all for it. I recall asking him, there's this passion project that a friend of mine wants to do. He wants me to be a part of it. This is what it is. What do you think? Because I basta mga big decisions na gano'n.
Yeah.
Now before I fully commit into an endeavor, I bring it up with him and my mom and Kay Ives, and then they said, yeah, go for it. So once he said go for it, okay, that gave me the confidence.
Yes.
To know that all right, this is a good thing to do, and it can make a positive impact to the community, and it can help foster positive relationships with the people that we meet.
Kahit ikaw, yung I mean, you ikaw na, I'm inspired by you, by the way, ha.
Thank you.
Tapos, and I'm also close to you and your family, right?
Thank you. Yeah.
So, alam mo yung pag nakikita ko kita and how you talk to your wife, yun understandable. I know you guys talk. Pero, no. You talk that, are we going to do this?
Hindi ba she talks and I listen? Love you, Ives.
Shout
love you,
out.
Ives. Yeah, love you, Ives. Oh, gosh.
So, pretty much, like, ngayon ko lang narinig na you would consult your dad
Right.
and your mom. Now that your dad's not around, is there a void?
Oh, there is. I miss talking to him on a daily basis. So, and again,
Hindi ka pa nakakauwi simula nung namatay
no,
ang dad mo, no?
Yeah. Wasn't able to be there in person for the wake, for the funeral, diba? And like I said, I miss our daily conversations. Again, he's a man of a few words. Oh, hello. Oh, kumusta ka na? And then we talk about anything from the Lakers. He's a huge Lakers fan. Whenever he would be in town, and basketball season is on, we'd make it a point to swing by Staples Center. I don't like how the stadium is called now. It'll always be Staples Center to me. And then we'd watch games. And we talk about family business. Yeah, we talk about the kids. And even if they were 5-10 minute conversations, because he had to go through he had to attend physical therapy sessions, or he had other things to do. I cherish those moments, because sometimes meron ako napupulot sa kanya na words of wisdom pa rin. and he would always reinforce na if you can do good in the world, do it with no expectations of receiving anything.
Oh.
This episode is brought to you by Leo Bato and Associates, ang realtor na patok.
Basta hanggat kaya mo, that's what he would say. Hanggat kaya mo, tulong ka lang ng tulong.
Yung keep
And I take that to heart.
Yung keep moving forward na slogan natin.
I kinda got that from him also. It's like basta andar ka lang ng andar. He would say that. Yeah.
Right,
Now that you mentioned it, yeah. Nahugot ko rin sa kanya yun eh. Through maybe not necessarily he would say that to me, right? But I see it through his actions. Again, man of a few words, but yung actions niya totally spoke louder than words. Again, I think it's his ability to
Communicate without talking.
to bring people together from different walks of life, different perspectives,
Right.
different politics. But he would bring them together, and then for some reason, he has the ability to bring consensus. And then from there, may path forward na.
Okay. So now that all you have is his legacy, di ba? Paano mo ina-apply yan sa day job mo, sa pagiging husband mo, sa pagiging tatay mo? I mean, is he alive 100% in you, or tulad nga ng aking pitch, dinukot mo, you spun it, and it's your own?
Right.
So anong mga nakuha mo kay Tito Lito sa daddy mo na ngayon pinapasa mo na sa dalawang anak mo? And
Good question. Let me ponder on that first. One, tapos may response kagad, no? Let me ponder because may response kagad. Parang scripted. No, hindi to scripted, folks.
wala mo kami script.
The first thing that pops up in my mind is diskarte and abilidad. He would always reinforce that to me, even at a young age. He would do something creative, and then he would look at me. Ang tawag dyan, anak, abilidad. Ang tawag dyan, diskarte. And he would say, know the rules, and then figure out a way to creatively navigate within.
There are holes in
there may be loopholes, or there may be ways around the rules. Diba?
But alam mo ang ganda na sinabi mo, because tama yun eh. Rules, you're not breaking the rules.
No.
You are finding creative ways to make it
happen.
Yes.
Within the boundaries of the rules.
Because breaking the rules is going out of that sandbox.
Right. I recall one time because he eventually he was well known and well respected. Both he and my mom were well respected in our community. That they eventually voted him as the homeowner association president.
Okay.
And then there was a dispute with another homeowners association over stickers and gate passes.
It's a village.
So our area had multiple subdivisions and villages.
Yes.
Each
So
one
in
had
other
their own
words,
securities.
yung entrance, hindi ka pwedeng umexit sa kabila
each
without
one had their own sticker requirements.
Yeah.
So there were discussions of an honor system where if you were a resident of this subdivision and you had the sticker for said subdivision, that sticker will be honored
Pwede na sa lahat.
within the other subdivisions, so that you can use the roads
Yes.
where those subdivisions were based as access roads and shortcuts to get to.
Kasi
other
di ba
points of
dati, ang dami mong sticker sa kotse?
Yes.
Yeah.
So one subdivision was very adamant na kailangan you have our sticker.
Camellia Homes, hindi lang.
Tago na lang natin sila sa boyfriend.
Okay, boyfriend.
Homes.
Oh, boyfriend homes. Okay. Okay.
Or best friend homes. Tama na. Better best friend homes.
Sabi ko sana bako Filipino. Okay.
So
Shout out sa mga taga-South.
yes. Represent. So
Stickers.
most of these subdivisions were thinking of complying with that request because they were the big fish.
So in other words,
Small
your dad as president would talk
Right.
to other presidents of other
Right.
yeah, subdi.
But then he realized, so yun ang rule na gustong i-implement ng major subdivision. But then he realized, wait a minute, bago kayo dadaan ng subdivision na yun, dadaan ka muna sa subdivision namin.
Yeah.
Therefore, kailangan mo ng sticker namin.
Correct.
So, in short,
It trumps over whatever.
yeah. He found a loophole dun sa rule and turned it to the advantage of everyone else. So the bigger subdivision had to
Oo nga,
retract
no?
that request. Diba?
Oh, nasa main road nga palang.
Yeah. So before you hit that subdivision, dadaan ka muna sa amin.
Yeah.
So we'll block everybody,
Yeah.
right? That doesn't have our sticker because no sticker, no entry. I mean,
Correct.
that's what you want. Diba?
Yeah.
So yun yung concept niya of diskarte and abilidad.
Right.
Right. Yep.
Was your dad?
That's what I try to.
Was your dad a soft-spoken person? I know, a man of few words, pero may temper ba siya?
Oh, when he gets mad, oh, yeah, everybody's just like, yeah. He can be kenkoy,
Yeah.
and my cousins can attest to this. He can be the jolly guy, the jolly Santa Claus during Christmas. But once he puts his foot down, and then you hear him with the booming voice, ano na. All right.
Hindi ka na bumababa sa...
No more. Get everything,
nasa kwarto ka na lang.
get everything together and say yes. I will do that. Yeah. But it's a testament to him na there are times kasi if you hear that all the time, you
Parang nade-desensitize ka eh, di ba?
right. You
Galit lang wala.
right. It just flies over you, but he knows when to pull that off, right? To show to be angry, really angry, and then everybody's like, all right, it's for real now.
Ano gagawin ko nga yun? Kasi si Oliver Carney, ang sabi ni Oliver Carney, nung nag-guest siya, ang huling advice niya was, hindi mo kailangan sumigaw.
Yeah.
Subukan mo makipag-usap ng malumanay.
Yeah.
Tingnan mo kung ano magiging result.
Right.
And then ang napupulot ko naman sa'yo from your late dad is tahimik ka lang para pag nagalit ka,
Yeah.
markado.
Right.
They all work together.
Right.
Galing.
Yeah.
Okay, so ngayon, and the reason why I'm talking to you about this is because you're a dad now, and you have a daughter who's an adult, and you have a son who's adulting.
Mhm.
Actually, hindi, no? Actually, yeah. Papunta na siya ron.
Yeah. He's now a freshman in the college. Yeah.
So, ano siya, 18, 17?
Turning 19 in a couple of weeks.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And this is your son.
Yeah.
Are you the same or different? Or, be careful, nanonood si Ives. Alam mo naman,
I know.
baby ni Ives yun.
I know. And we recall the last time that I opened my big mouth, right? She made a specific request.
Oh, hell yeah. Ganda nga ng bahay mo
Right.
ngayon.
Tsaka yung bagong sasakyan
Yeah.
because of her.
Na
So,
may bagong gulong.
tsaka bagong man. Let's see. No, I think kay Jam, he got my height. Yeah. But I think everything else sa side ni Ives, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. It's Sophie actually who.
Wait, did you just say unfortunately?
Unfortunately for me.
Okay. Linawin mo yun.
Here we go again.
Gusto mo maging last episode.
Right. Well, that's all, folks. Here we go again. Right. Here we go again.
Tingnan nyo guys, walang editing ha. Dapat
Yeah.
Okay, so nilinaw mo ba?
Yeah.
Okay, unfortunately.
I think
What?
kailangan mag-commercial break. We'll be right back. No.
Okay,
No.
so
yeah, between the two kids, si Jam, ang personality niya is more on the more on the mom's side.
Okay.
Si Sophie ang dami niyan, she got most of the the abad traits.
Is it because you Sophie mas close sa daddy mo? Or
No,
pareho
I don't
lang
think so.
silang...
I think it's genetics kasi ano pa lang nung baby pa lang parang nakikita na namin na meron siyang certain personality or traits na na on the abad side the ability to again bring people together, the ability to blend in with different groups, diba? and still maintain individuality.
Yung sinasabi mo, ako kinakabahan, Ives baka
Right. No, si Jam naman, ano yan, more of the silent brooding type, pero and that I think gets
parang daddy mo rin yun eh.
You know what? Now that you mentioned it, hindi pa rin eh. kasi si Papa was Kenkoy eh. Silent. He can be more on the quiet side, but once you get to know him, Kenkoy siya eh. Right?
Okay.
Si Joaquin is quiet and mysterious. Meron siyang sense of mystery. And I think that's what the girls find intriguing. I should learn from him.
Yes, okay. So pero you guys, you and your son, you two get along.
Oh yeah. We bonded over a love for sports. Between the two, it was Sophie that had musical inclinations, but got busy with school and set that aside muna and then eventually focused on her career. She's working now, right?
Out of state.
Yes, in Chicago. Sarap pa yung deep dish.
Hype yung pizza na yun. Thank you for that.
So every trip
diba?
Make sure na may deep dish pizza. Dapat si JJ meron din.
I know, man.
And then Jam was more I think ang nakuha niya from my side was the love for basketball. Also got that from my dad. Both of them are right-handed. Oh, but wait a minute. Jam's ambidextrous, so he could when he was playing basketball he could shoot with either hand.
Right.
He could also write with either hand. So my dad left-handed. I'm left-handed, so baka dun nakuha niya yung ability to write with his left hand.
Your dad's left-handed also.
Left-handed, yeah. But he played golf using right-handed clubs. Played guitar, using a right-handed guitar. So he was somebody who was a natural athlete. Yeah.
He was.
Any sport he would venture into, he would excel. I recall when he started playing golf, siguro a few months later, I may be wrong, a few months later or a few tournaments later, naka-hole in one na siya.
Wow.
And the house would be
wow.
He after playing basketball during his college days, he ventured into bowling. He'd have several trophies from bowling, right? So I think he dabbled in archery also.
Okay.
Just a bit, just for kicks.
Yung anong tawag dito, ikaw, you would talk to your mom and dad on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Yung mga anak mo ba, do they do that with you?
See Jam, yes, because he's still at home.
Like what are conversations like? Would they say, "Hey dad, can I talk to you?" Or
it's mostly us checking in on them, and then
It doesn't count that.
Sophie would
Okay.
Sophie would call, would ask for advice. Yeah, Jam would do that every now and then, but I guess at this point he's at the stage where he's still trying to figure out his place in the world, and freshman in college.
Yeah.
It's an adjustment for him also.
Yes.
Doesn't help that we're in year 2 of this pandemic, so
I know. Yung interactions,
he's missing out on the opportunity to get the full college experience. And then meeting new friends and then exploring the campus. But he did say that on the few occasions where he gets to visit the campus, he enjoys it, and he actually misses the social interactions in person.
So yung mga ganon, di ba? Like yung daughter mong si Sophie is not with you guys anymore.
Mm-hmm.
your son, kahit nasa, he's in college,
Yeah.
busy na siya sa mga stuff. You don't have your dad anymore, so it's just your mom, it's Ives. And yung independence mo before was trying to leave your mom and dad and live a life with Ives.
Right.
Now, your independence is nature driven or driven by circumstance.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah.
May difference ba? Do you miss the interaction? Like your sister close kayo, your brother close kayo. Your brother would normally visit, si Toby. Si Tracy, hindi rin maka-visit dahil may pamilya na rin. And your dad, who you looked up to, is no longer around.
Yeah.
You and your wife, I see you guys are very close. But napapansin mo ba na you're at this chapter in your life where in a few years, you'll be your dad?
Right. That has crossed my mind and Ives' mind also. So
What's the contingency? What's the plan?
Well, what I miss is the aside from daily conversations with him, I miss the proximity of being the proximity of being closer to my siblings and to my mom. But then looking back, the motivation for us moving to the States was to show them I can be independent, diba? There is a tendency, and diba, Uncle Dr. Ricky mentioned this, diba,
Yes.
na because Filipinos by nature are close knit, there is a tendency for the offspring to still be within the proximity of the parents. Pros and cons, diba? So you always you will have, diba, the there's a sense of security that you're still
On whose part?
Eventually it's both, diba? Kasi now I realize as a parent that you prefer that they're
There.
there
Para
and
naman
you
monitor
can
mo.
see what they're doing. That happened to us when Sophie moved to her dorm for her first few years of college and sakit. I was going home in tears because I helped her move her stuff to the dorm, diba? And then it was
sakit?
in a way it was a relief for us when Jam chose a school that was
Close to the house.
close to the house, so he didn't have to move out, didn't have to go to a dorm. So andun pa rin siya sa
Alam mo
bahay.
si Jam, no? Ngayon ko lang na-realize. Jam, if you're watching, dapat dapat ganito eh. Kasi si Sophie may dorm na ikaw ang nagbayad.
Yeah.
Si Jam, andun sa bahay.
Yeah.
Ibig sabihin, nakatipid ka ng dorm.
Yes.
Dapat hiningi ni Jam, dapat Jam, kinuha mo yung pera sa tatay mo eh.
Oh, and he has. He has. I see it on sa credit card statement. It's like, okay, somebody has been partying. Lalo na nung when we...
Di ba? I mean, para sa akin.
There were a few occasions when we went out of town, he had to stay.
So may abilidad din. Kita mo,
May
parang
abilidad,
daddy,
may abilidad.
parang daddy
Oh,
mo
yeah.
rin.
Hell yeah.
He
yeah.
knows the rules.
Yep.
He's getting creative with it. So
Yep.
hindi ka nagalit.
No.
Kwento. I hope you guys are picking up father-son relationships dito. Okay, go.
No,
Pero hindi niya sinabi actively na, Dad, since wala naman akong dorm.
No.
Implied.
Gave him an extension of the
Oh,
credit
yeah,
card,
yeah.
and then he was also he also applied for his own credit
Right,
card, and then
right.
I taught him the tricks of how to maintain a good
The
credit score.
The 30%.
Right. And then paying on
utilization.
time, paying it in full. Right, don't go over your credit limit. But I have access to his statements. So, and then dun sa joint sa extension card ko, nakikita ko rin yung mga transactions siya. So, in a way, I'm glad that he's learning responsibility. So, what he also took from my dad and what I also learned from him kasi is, he can be generous also. In the sense that if he's with his friends, he can spring for meals, diba? Sagot ka na, just so we can all have fun,
Yeah.
diba? And it's also a way of bringing people together also,
Yeah.
diba? And I see that, I realize that, and
Ganyan ka rin eh.
yeah, and
And you know what?
I try.
You know what? I don't know if you noticed, but kami ni na JJ, ni na Jaja, we know na ganyan ka. And I don't know if you've noticed talaga, and I'll tell this to everybody, itong si Michael po, he was like, sagot ko na yan. Sagot ko na yan. Hindi mo napapansin, hindi ako nagfa-follow through sa'yo.
No. And you know.
Because my thing is, hindi inaabuso ng mga kaibigan ng taong generoso.
Yes.
Yung kaibigan nilang generoso.
Right. And it's the same as you've always reminded me, hey, whenever New Day in August is performing with Intervoice, you have access to my kit. But I still, we have that conversation. I still ask, Max, okay naman ang ko yung kit mo.
Still
Same
weird.
thing rin.
Still
Same
weird.
Thing rin. Still weird. Diba? It's like ilang beses ko na ba dapat sabihin sa'yo, okay lang. Diba?
Yeah.
But again, I want to maintain that boundary of respect.
Okay.
And hindi ko inaabuso yun. I learned that from my dad also.
So si Jam is galante, parang ganon.
Yeah, galante but without, hindi naman abuso.
At hindi siya nauuto ng mga kaibigan niya.
Right. And he's also learning the another thing that I learned from my dad, and I hope to impart on Jam and Sophie, and I'm seeing that in both of them, is the value of loyalty to your friends, loyalty to the family.
I've had issues.
Well, he's learned to. Well, he is learning. Same with Sophie. They are both learning to choose their friends wisely.
Yeah.
Learning that there are people who you can consider as acquaintances. There are people who you can consider as friends, as close friends, and then there's that I call it the special level where parang magkapatid na kayo, diba? Even if no blood relation.
Parang tayo ni na JJ.
Right. And that takes time.
Yeah.
In a way, trial and error rin yan. And then it's also observing how people behave or people's actions, not just to you but to other people. Because again, I also learned from my dad, how you treat other people, regardless of stature, is a testament to your character. And it helps build your reputation also, right? Because once kumalat yan sa community that you're of questionable character and reputation, ang hirap ng i-reverse yun.
Right. Now,
this episode is brought to you by Binalot Los Angeles.
Habang sinasabi mo yan, tinitignan kita at naiisip ko yung ugali ni Tito Lito ng daddy mo na pag nagalit, sumisigaw. And biglang pumasok sa isip ko kasi guys, drummer din si Mike and he plays for the band New Day in August. And Jaja and I have seen them perform. And nakakatuwa po siyang tumugtog because kahit rock na rock yung tugtog nila, kahit gusto niya mag-mean face. Pakita mo nga sa kanila yung mean face mo.
It's still oh. What are you trying to do there, little boy? Right?
Exactly, di ba?
Somebody mad?
Parang boy next door ang dating.
Right. Somebody mad?
So ang tanong ko, paano ka magalit?
Oh, wow. I think that's something you should ask Ives. I think
Minsan kasi, galit na ako for you. Ikaw hindi ka pa rin galit
relax lang. No?
Parang, nakita mo ba yung...
Right. And again, I got that from Papa also. Na again, because he's a man of a few words, soft-spoken until he knows you and you know him.
Right.
Diba? That's when he opens up a bit.
Introvert.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though ang personality niya is really extrovert kasi diba he can bring people together. The New Year's Day parties after the fireworks, legendary yun sa community namin. You'd have rows of tables, and then it's just everybody from the neighborhood just going up, bringing potluck, bringing their own drink. Somebody brings out a karaoke machine and they start singing hanggang hanggang mga 6 or 7 in the morning.
Then January 2.
Oh, yeah. Well, nung January. Yung January 2, iba naman with the family. But again, it's that ability. I also learned to manage my alcohol intake through him. He'd teach me at a young age. Okay, this is.
Teka, doon muna tayo sa galit.
Yeah.
Gusto mo muna paano ka magalit.
Sa galit, I think I got it from him also. Kasi he won't say anything. And then
ako alam mo
na nagalit na siya.
Okay, ikaw alam ko pag pikon ka.
Yeah.
Pero Hindi ko alam kung alam ng taong naiintindihan niyo ba yun, guys? Yung tipong ito kaibigan ko kasi parang kapatid ko to, alam ko pag pikon siya.
You can sense, di ba? You can sense.
Pero hindi ko alam kung alam nung taong kinapipikunan niya.
Right.
Kung pikon siya. So
Right.
doon ako na frustrate. Pareho sila ni JJ. Ganon.
Oo.
Ako naman baliktad, di ba? Dahil hindi naman ako pikon,
Right.
pero feeling nila galit ako sa kanila.
Right. Basta nakikita ko na yung text mo, free to chat. Nako. Dalawa lang to. Either there's something exciting that's brewing or meron lang siya gripe to and he needs to vent. Okay, dalawa lang to. Let's see. And then depende na yan dun sa tono niya. Mikey or hello. Nako, okay. Something exciting to.
Or
Mike. Hindi ka ba? Nako, ito na. Grab the headphones, diba? Plug it in para di marinig ni Ives. Huwag ka muna mag-speakerphone, diba? Okay, what's
pero
going on?
ikaw, paano ka magalit nga?
Oh! Malamang, I just keep to myself. And then I become more retrospective.
Pero hindi alam ng mga ibang taong kinahinisan mo na galit sila sa'yo.
No,
Isn't that unfair or fair?
I don't know. Good question. I don't know.
Put it
Perhaps-
in the comments below. Sabi ka.
Yeah. Maybe I should be able to, I should develop
Time out.
the
Naalala mo, nandito si Idol Eli Buendia, di ba? And
Yeah.
he had the same issue. Ang issue naman niya, hindi siya
Yes.
makapag-no.
Yes.
Di ba? Ikaw naman, hindi mo talaga sinasabi sa
Right.
taong kinaiinisan mo na, alam mo nabibwisit ako sa iyo.
Right.
You're
Well,
not that type.
Okay, a couple of things.
Oh.
So, I eventually need to develop the courage to say no, not just politely but with conviction.
You
No?
do that. You do
Okay,
that.
and I'm learning that. And then second is another thing I learned from my dad is you have to be a person of your word.
You are
And-
that.
And,
Alam ko yun.
and it's hard for me to commit to something that I know na I'm not gonna be fully committed to it.
Mm.
So, and then translating that into a sorry, I can't do that. It's still a work in progress for me. And then
Talaga.
also learning
Ang
how
mahirap
to
yun. Yung tipong,
also learning how to articulate why you're mad. I think
"Ooh, this is therapy session.
kasi ang ginagawa ko when I'm mad, I just go to the drums.
I know.
Doon ko na binubuo.
Yeah, hindi nga alam ng taong kinaiinisan mo na naiinis ka sa kanila.
Well, and it's also it goes back to the 7 basic habits. Seek first to understand, then be understood.
Right,
So,
pero don't you feel yourself na parang tal volcano pag sumabog, nakakatakot.
yeah. Oh yeah. And Ives has mentioned that, and the kids know that also. Once I raise my voice, again, take it from Dad's playbook.
But then again,
When you raise your voice, boom.
alam mo ang ending ni Tito Lito, di ba? Inatake sa puso.
Yeah.
Ayaw mong pumunta ron, di ba? So, you have to let it out.
Yes, I have to figure a way to release the frustration.
Yeah.
Part of it is having venting conversations with Ives.
Yeah.
Diba? And
Tayo.
with you. And with you. And with you. And with Ives. and with my mom. Diba? And with Tracy and with Toby. Diba? But it's also realizing that there are people within my orbit, diba? That are also willing to listen
Yeah.
and help you find a path forward. And I'm starting to realize that you hindi ka pwedeng lone ranger palagi.
Oo nga eh.
And if you want to show people that you are a person of your word, you're reliable, you're dependable, you're there when they need you, or you're there to offer them advice. There are people who would also be willing to do the same thing to me also.
Yes. Patas-patas, yeah.
Right. And it's a matter of finding the people in your life who can provide
Reciprocate,
that. And you know, without expecting anything in return.
Yeah. So ngayon, ito na yung tanong na, because that's the type of person you are, di ba?
Mm-hmm.
Sa tayong dalawa, kung meron tayong kwarto, 2 different rooms, ang may isip ng mga tao is, pagkagising natin habang nag-aalmusal, yung kama mo ayos, yung kama ko hindi. Okay? By the way, inaayos ko po yung kama ko tuwing umaga.
Ako hindi.
Pero, kita mo? Alam mo ako, that's the first thing I do.
How we get along, I don't know. I don't know.
Opposite, di ba?
It's life's one of life's little mysteries.
So, minsan, things will happen in my life and I'm gonna call you and you're gonna get that call wherein I go, can you do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
We need to shuffle dates.
Oh, on the episode calendar. Yeah.
And I know that stresses you out.
Uh-huh.
Kasi ikaw yung, pag nakaset na,
Right.
di ba?
Well, okay, go on.
So, because, and kaya ako sinasabi to, is, people think na ang hierarchy natin, ito ako, tapos ito kayo. Hindi, it's pantay-pantay. We play different roles. Because there have been days, not to mention anybody, wherein I would go, Mike, this topic is not up my alley, and you'd be, kaya mo yan.
Kaya mo yan. No, go ahead and para yan.
And ako napapalunok na lang ako going, okay. So pareho lang tayo sa mga ganun siya. Or si JJ, di ba, pag inabot na ng 10 o'clock ng gabi, hindi na gumagalaw yung camera, di ba?
Nagme-meditate na siya.
Kailangan ng Milo.
Meron na siya personal reflection. It's like,
So lahat tayo may mga challenges. But since this is your episode, pag tumawag ako, or pag wala si JJ, or pag nagkakagulo ang mga schedule, what goes on in your head? Dahil ikaw si, okay, ayos na to. Ikaw may ugali ka na, i-ready ko na lahat to para no biglaan, and then here I come.
And then something happens, right?
Yes.
Like a tidal wave. Well, I mentioned to you what I've been teaching my kids, what to do in situations like that where you have to respond instead of react.
Yeah.
Right? And two different.
Please elaborate to our audience the difference.
So.
And to our producer.
Yeah. Reacting is basically what the first thing that hits your head.
Akala ko sa'yo, reacting is basically what our producer does.
No. And then responding is to put it simply, you figure out the logical way to address a situation. So in the case of shuffling the calendars, it can get frustrating. Pero alam ko naman, there's also an element of trust that we have with the team.
Yeah.
That hindi mo rin naman ginusto na you'll have to shuffle
especially
the schedule.
Nung kasagsagan ng COVID, di ba?
Right. And then we both had personal things that cropped up that we had to deal with, which required us to kind of slow down. Diba? Let's reassess, and then let's spread things out a little bit more so that we're both in a position mentally, physically, spiritually to do what we do best with the guests, and to because again we're at a point where we have an obligation also to the guests that when they're here, they're sitting here.
Yes,
it's the best version of you talking to them and engaging them. And I have to understand that this is something that you didn't want it to happen, but it was unavoidable. We just have to figure a way around it.
So yung sample situation na yon, is it safe to say applicable din sa buhay?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, because I've learned that much as much as you want to control events in your life,
I know.
crap happens. Diba? And the people who who are successful in life are those that figure out ways to manage the situation as they occur, and then learn why these things happen, and then figure out ways to as much as possible minimize or avoid it in the future. But if it happens again, you know how to respond to it. Na hindi ka na
Not react.
Hindi ka na
Respond.
nagre-react. Oo.
How important, you mentioned the word a while ago, ponder.
Mm-hmm.
How important is that word and that action word? How important is that to differentiate a reaction and a response?
Right. Again, pondering, it goes back to
Define that,
to the
para at
response
least-
concept, because pondering allows you the opportunity to think about what you want to do next. What are the pros and
Mahirap,
cons?
mahirap.
Oh yeah, because sometimes you have a tendency to react to things right away, to say yes to things that you suddenly realize, wait a minute, I think I've stretched myself too thin or bit off more than I could chew. And then the act of pondering allows you to assess if certain opportunities that are presented to you can be beneficial to you or and your family in the short term or the long term. But again, you can't ponder forever. You'll eventually,
Yeah, okay.
right?
Si Ponder forever. Si producer Ponder.
hindi pwedeng assess and evaluate ka forever eh. Kailangan
Jay,
from
para
there.
sa ito episode na to.
Oo. From kasi ang next step dun is conclusion, and
Right.
then options, and then act. Right. Otherwise,
So sometimes that can happen in a split second or a minute or a day, 2 days.
right. It's also knowing when to ponder and then when to just go for it. Like one of the mottos that isa pang mantra natin is fire, ready, aim.
Yes.
Because hindi naman lahat ng sitwasyon ready, aim, fire. Diba? There are some where
Guys, sorry
we just go for it, diba? Then let's see what happens and then we learn from it.
Sa aming
Oo.
tatlo po kasi na nandito sa studio, si JJ Buencamino po talaga ang inaatake sa puso sa fire, ready, aim. As in, sa kanya namin binabato lahat. And then, anong gagawin ko rito?
Right. Now, in fairness, there is value in
Ready, aim, fire.
in ready, aim, fire, because then you
Pero
put
yes, tuloy mo yan, sige.
yeah, because then it becomes what do you call this? Parang second nature, because
Yes.
you prepare. May aspect of preparation.
Ang problema lang natin kay producer JJ, hindi tayo umabot sa fire. Kasi hindi siya makakommit sa aim.
Ready and ponder.
Ready, aim. Yun
Ready,
yung ponder.
aim.
Yung aim ang ponder. Ready, aim. Kaya fire. Ready, aim. O, diba?
Right.
Okay, now, when your dad died,
Mm.
did you respond or did you react when you heard the news?
It was a react, because it came suddenly.
Okay, pareho tayong namatay ang daddy natin
Oo.
unexpectedly. Okay?
Right.
So when you heard the news, who gave you the news?
It was my sister.
What time did she call?
It's the dreaded phone call. It's the phone call that everyone dreads early in the morning.
Okay, so
And then
okay.
a random call na parang bakit
Oh,
sila
tumataas ang
tumatawag
balahibo
ng
ko.
gantong oras.
So you knew something was wrong? Nakita mo yung,
Na I sensed something was wrong.
was it FaceTime?
No, Messenger.
Messenger.
But
Oh,
not on video. So audio lang.
Okay, this was around what, 6 in the morning, 4 in the morning?
Probably around 3
3 in
LA
the-
time.
In the morning?
It's literally the call that you dread
Right.
when your phone rings at early in the morning.
Okay, so, nung nakita mo si Tracy ganun kaaga, sino ang iniisip mo at ano ang naiisip mo at sino ang naiisip mo?
Yeah, just
Try to recall, ah.
my siblings and my mom. Yeah.
Not your dad? No, I mean, tandaan mo, hindi mo pa sinasagot yung telepono. You know that's
Okay.
not
I see. I apologize.
that's
Okay.
not a good
it's,
call.
It's what's that call about? No one in particular. It but I had the sense that something bad is happening because I rarely
Did you
get
think it
a
was
call
yeah?
from I rarely get a call from my two siblings.
Oh yeah,
because
Toby
they
and Tracy pinariringgan
no
kayo ni
no
Micah.
at that time
Okay.
at that time of the morning because they know how to use their phones. I would get phone calls from my mom or my dad ng ganong kaaga, and then my dad would say, "Ay, oo nga pala, ibang time zone dyan. Sorry. So I'd go, it's okay, Dad, it's okay. But then, oh my gosh, at least
Yes.
false alarm. But
Yes.
unfortunately, this call was not a false alarm.
This episode is brought to you by ABBA e-Services.
Did you think it was a death, an accident, or nasusunog ang bahay?
It did not. None of the three crossed my mind yet. I just sensed that something was wrong. And then when I heard Tracy's voice, I knew something was.
Was she crying on the
Oh
phone?
yeah.
So when she was crying, did you think it was her husband, her son, your mom, your dad, or Toby?
No.
Wala pa
kasi,
rin.
Kasi may ano eh. When I got the phone call, may element of shock na ako. And then as she was relaying the news to me, I was just processing it na lang.
How did she say
And then,
it, if you don't mind? I'm
just-
sorry I'm bringing
just-
you back.
Just frantic. Yeah. Just
So you had to decipher what she was saying.
yeah. And then you think parang pinaprocess ng utak mo pero ayaw eh. Para ako nasa loop. It's like your computer freezing. And then you don't know how to respond. Kaya react na lang ako na parang oh wow. Ganun na. And then I couldn't move. Yeah. I was just lying down. And then I was wondering what happened, and then I had to tell her. And it's like, oh gosh, yeah. It was rough.
Tapos hindi ka makauwi dahil naka-lockdown tayo.
I actually felt I felt that I let them down by not going home.
Do you still have that feeling
Yeah.
now?
I still do. Even if my mom said no, I wouldn't have allowed you to because of the situation, diba? And we had that conversation. I said I found a way. I told her I found a way.
Yeah.
I found a way. But she said no, don't risk it. No.
Pati yung nagpa-vaccine na kayo, kumpleto na lahat.
Well, at that time wala pang
Yeah,
kasi
but you were still excited. At talagang pinagpipilitan mo to find a way.
found a way.
All
yeah.
the way.
Yeah.
All the way sa dumating yung vaccine, akala
Yeah.
mo, okay, vaccinated na. Uwi na ako.
I found a flight, diba, that would take me there
Yeah.
the soonest time possible. I found folks who would be able to pick me up from the airport, diba? Pero sabi niya, no, don't risk it.
So ang hirap, ikaw ang
Ang hirap.
panganay na
Oo.
anak. Ang layo mo. We were in a situation where hindi alam ng mundo kung pag lumabas tayo sa ibang lugar, mamamatay din ba tayo o hindi.
Exactly. We didn't know. We
Yeah.
didn't know how the ramifications of this virus. You know.
Nung time
You're
na
right.
yun,
You're right.
yeah.
We didn't know if we stepped out of the house and then you'd get it. Was it a death sentence already? We didn't know, and which is why, mom made the difficult decision to say, it's stay there na muna, and because of this pandemic, I haven't been home since. So it was hard because as I was giving one of the eulogies, iniisip ko dapat nandun ako, diba? But yeah, but I couldn't be there, and one of my biggest regrets was not
Last
being there.
respect, no?
But I hope he understood. I hope he knows that I did everything I could. diba? But I had to think of other people first. And
Pero yun na nga,
And not
yun na nga
jeopardize-
palaging ginagawa mo eh.
and not jeopardize their their health and their welfare. Because that's what he would have done also.
So putting other people
Yeah.
first,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
is it an easy thing to do? Because like you are the type of person, and I know you that you are this type of person that you would delay gratification
Mm-hmm.
until minsan ako na nga na-frustrate para sa iyo, di ba? But when everything becomes okay at nakauwi ka, what would you do pagdating mo ron?
First thing I would do is visit his grave. Yeah. And then finally pay my respects.
Do you think that would be closure? Or hindi magkakaroon ng closure, no?
No. And if I may ask, ikaw, was there closure
Still no closure.
all these years, di ba?
And ano nga pareho tayo. Ako naman ng time na yun, it was a page. Imagine my neighbor paging me,
Yeah.
telling me to call my house.
Right.
Eh, nasa bahay lang yung katulong at saka yung tatay ko.
Right. And a call that unusual, you know right away. Something's something's wrong. Yeah, something's going on. Yeah.
Has your dad's death, has it made you a better person and father, or has it made you an angry person and father, or wala lang?
It made me realize how things can change right away. So it made me realize the value of maximizing your time here in this world, because we don't know what happens next.
Right.
And
So it made you realize that.
oh
no?
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, and it became clear to me that we don't know when our time is up, and better make the most of our stay here in this world, and before it's time for us to go, try to be the best person you can be for your wife, for your kids, for your friends, for your mom, for your siblings, because you will eventually be I'm not sure if judged is the right word, or you will eventually be remembered by not necessarily the material things that you have, but by how you treated other people. And you will be remembered by your actions. And best make it a good representation of yourself. So that way, the people you leave behind will have fond memories of you. I remember when I think it was a talk show, and then one of the hosts asked Keanu Reeves about what's
Ooh, ang galing,
the
Where will you be?
or what's the saddest thing for you when you move on,
When you die?
right? Yeah, and it's that it's that I hope, well, it's my friends my loved ones will miss seeing me around because I tried to be a good person or something like that. But that was what I got from
Parang
his
ganda,
response.
parang sinabi sa kanya na, where will you go when you die?
Mhm. Yeah.
Ang sagot niya, I'll be in my friends and loved ones' memory.
Yeah, or something like that.
Parang
diba?
ganun, no? So moving forward, having said all of this, Anong pwede mong i-share sa mga magulang, magkapatid, magulang-kapatid, kapatid-kapatid na hindi nag-uusap ngayon, na may mga tampuhan?
Right.
What advice can you share with them?
The disagreements, the quarrels, the squabbles, that's part of being a family. And those incidents occur because, I guess, out of love din because the other person cares for you so much that they're willing to
Right.
argue their position so that you can hopefully understand where they're coming from. People should realize, diba, once your loved ones are gone, that's it. We don't know what happens after this world,
Yeah.
right? Whether you believe in a higher power or not, diba? We don't know. We don't know what happens. So make the most of the time that people have here in this world, and like my mom said, make good memories while you can.
We'll leave it at that. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Abad.
Thank you. Love you, Mom. Love you, Dad. Love you, Ives. Sophie and Jack. Toby and Tracy. And JP and Luke.
Galing.
This one's for you, Pops. We miss you.
Dito.